Hey, guess what, y'all? I'm back, and you'll never believe what just happened to me. Oh, baby! Oh! The RYKER is back! Hey, it's fixed. It's back on the road. I'm enjoying the ride. And today, you know what I got for you? I got something special. I want to give you my 6-month review. 6 months. Had this bike for 6 months. I've got 2,600 miles. I'm going to tell you all that I learned in this last 6 months. So let's get to it! Hey, what's happening, folks? Chip Mitchell back at you with another edition of Enjoy the Ride. Hey, what can I say? It is back. The RYKER 900 is back with me at home. I'm just so happy. I mean, it's been a journey for the last couple weeks here. I mean, I didn't know what I was going to do. You know, I had broken the bolt holding the handlebars in. I had over tightened it, snapped the nut off, snapped the head off, and it was deep down in that little well that is really tiny. And I was searching on the internet trying to find ways to get that nut out, and could not find a left-hand drill bit this long that was skinny enough to go down in there and extract that broken bolt off. I couldn't find it. Looked all around, tried everything. Tried glue, tried magnets. I tried everything. Thanks for all your suggestions. People were great. And finally, I was just like, you know what? Maybe let me go find out from Can-Am. Went to the website, didn't find anything. Went to a dealer here in the service department. They said, oh yeah, that happens. They actually had one of the steering columns in there where someone had broken it off and they couldn't even get it out. And the guy said, well, you know, you can probably just go ahead and buy the steering column. It's $100 and we can put that in. He said, or you can do it. I didn't feel comfortable putting on the steering column myself because it's like, you know, your steering goes, you're in trouble. So I came back, tried some more things, couldn't figure it out, called another Can-Am dealer, told them my situation. They said, oh, well, we can order the part, and then he went back and forth and he talked to the mechanic. The mechanic said, oh, that happens all the time. We know how to extract that bolt. I was like, what? He said, yeah, bring it on up. We'll take care of it for you. So I dropped the bike off. He said, hey, we'll call you in a couple days, let you know what it's going to cost you. And I said, great, you know, didn't hear from him. Got a text message, hey, your bike's done. I'm like, what? It's done? It's just a few days later. And I'm thinking, well, how much was this? You know, you fixed it without telling me how much it's going to cost. I'm not feeling good about that. So I text the guy back. I said, hey, how much is it? And he's like, oh, it's covered under warranty. I'm like, what? I broke it. I broke it. I mean, it was me. And sure enough, so I go on up there. I said, hey, I'm here to pick up my bike. And the guy was like, I said, it's under warranty? He said, yeah, let me go check again just to make sure. He went to check again. The guy said, no, totally covered under warranty. I did not pay a dime except the Uber ride to go get my bike. I mean, wow. I broke it. I told them I broke it. I called them and I told them I broke it. The other Can-Am dealer that was over here, my local one, no, he had already told me. He said it'll be $100 for this and then $100 for that. And not only did he tell me I was going to have to pay for it, but he was saying they couldn't even get that broken bolt off. Where this other service station, they could do it. And I tell you, I couldn't have been more pleased. Now, granted, this other Can-Am dealer is about 45 minutes away from me. That's not bad. I can handle that for the type of service that they offer. It's absolutely worth the ride. And so, hey, I got my bike back. I've gone out a little bit, haven't gotten a chance to ride too much, but I thought, hey, let's do, because this is my 6 months. I've had this bike for 6 months now. I put 2,700 miles on my RYKER, and I figured, why not give you just a 6-month overview of what it's been like. So the first thing I thought I'd talk about is, you know, the buying experience. You know, when I went to buy this bike, it was easy. The bike sells itself. I mean, you watch all the YouTube videos, the Can-Am demonstrations that they have on the website, and you are totally bought. It doesn't take a salesman to sell it. It was just more talking to the salesman, trying to get a sense of what bike to get. Obviously, I'm new to riding motorcycles. I did ride when I was a kid, but you really can't count that now as an adult. And the salesman was walking me through the different models, you know, the 600, the 900, the Sport, the Rally, and all these editions. And because I was new to it, I didn't know. I mean, I'd watched a lot of videos, but they were more just showing you how the thing rides, what it's like. And so I initially ordered the 600. Now, there was a long waiting period. So if you're looking to get one of these, my hunch is you're going to have to wait unless you go the used market. I don't know much about the used market just yet. So that was back in October, I believe, of 2021. They said they probably wouldn't be in until March. So I went on and put my order in for a 600. And they didn't even have bikes there on display. I had to sit on someone else's bike that was being fixed just to get a feel for it. And so I ordered it. They said they'll be in March. Happened to go there one day in February, just meandering around. I was still buying gear. And sure enough, the guy says, hey, listen, Chip, guess what? They have a 900 that a gentleman that came in, he doesn't want it now because it's too cold. I said, I'll take it. So I bought the 900. So the buying experience was great. You sit down, you do all the paperwork. I will tell you this, when we sat down talking about the maintenance program that they have, the warranty that they have, I have just a basic warranty. That's what I went with, and as you heard, man, it was great because it covered me breaking a bolt. Now, I don't understand how that works, but they covered it. So the warranty is awesome. I've heard people having problems with working with Can-Am and warranty issues and working with the dealership. I think I understand why that is. I think some dealers are just not highly rated, and so their relationship with the factory isn't great. And so because of that, they probably have some discrepancies on what's covered and what's not. This other dealership that I went to, their service department is above reproach. They are incredible, and they have an excellent relationship with Can-Am. So that's why I didn't have any issues. I've heard of folks having to call Can-Am, go back and forth with Can-Am, going back and forth with the dealer to try and get things worked out. I didn't have to do any of that. They totally took care of everything. So what I'm going to say on this is where you buy it may not be where you service it. You want to find a place that has a great service department, one that has great reviews and has a great relationship with the factory. You can buy it anywhere you want to buy it, but it's the service department that you're going to be dealing with once you purchase it. Because the salesman, all they do is selling you a bike, and that's pretty much it. So I went with just the factory warranty. It covered my broken handlebar that I broke, which I don't understand that. I'm just leaving that one alone for now. That was great. And so it covered it, and I didn't have any issues there. I did not buy the extended warranty. I felt like, you know, I don't think I need it. I mean, you save up, you know, $30 a month for 2 years, and you know what? You'll have whatever breaks after your warranty. Your factory warranty is out. But I did buy the rim. You can buy a separate package just for the rims. I think that was like $400 or $500, and that covers me if I ruin the rims. And the reason I did that, where I live in Philadelphia, the Philadelphia area, there's a lot of potholes. And, you know, I just know at some point I'm going to hit a pothole, tear up one of my rims, and I just, you know what? I paid that up front. They'll cover any of them that I do. If I bust them up, which I'm really happy about, maybe hit a curb or something like that, I felt like that was worth it. So I did that. But I'll tell you, in the buying experience, the biggest thing that as I look back on it, that I think is most important is where are you going to get it serviced? I've got two great places. I've got the RYKER Bike Shop, which is here local. This is a company that just started up on a whim, and tons of Rykers go over there, and it just services Rykers. That one you can just show up anytime. The service department over there is incredible. Irv is amazing owner. and his staff is amazing. And that was just something, if I get something, a little glitch or a little something here I can't figure out, you can go right over there. They totally take care of you. They help you out real quick. And the pricing is phenomenal. But for more engine and more factory or more challenging scenarios, I've got another one in Bensalem. I go to Bensalem and get my bike service there. Granted, it's a little further, but it's a great service. So if you're purchasing one, know where you're going to get it serviced. And you have to count the cost and all that. You need to figure out, hey, if I buy it here, but I'm not going to service it here, and the service station is another 40 minutes away, hey, you just know that. It's okay, but you need to know that. It's 45 minutes away from me. It's $37 Uber ride, I think, for me, and that works out. And if my son or some of my friends are around and give me a ride or whatever, I can do that, and you don't have to worry about it. But think about that when it comes to buying your Ryker and the buying experience. You know, next up, maintenance. The only maintenance that I had to do on it is after the first 600 to 1,000 miles, you take it back in to the shop. They change the oil, but they also check everything. They check to make sure everything is tightened. There aren't any loose bolts, but that the bike is handling the way it should handle. I think it's worth it. Yeah, it cost, I can't remember. I think it was like 300 bucks or something like that. It seemed high, but I personally think it's worth it. Why? Well, these bikes, they come unassembled. They assemble them, and then you get to go out and ride on them for about 600-700 miles. And honestly, something could be put in incorrectly. They check it out. They go through everything to make sure that the bike is okay. And I did that, and that was worth it. Outside of that, they changed the oil as well. I haven't had any maintenance issues. The only ones that I've had is the ones that I've caused. So, I mean, what did I do? Well, I put in a horn because I didn't like the beep beep. I didn't want a scooter horn or tricycle horn. I wanted a real horn with some guts. And I put a horn in, and I put some LED lights for underglow. When I did that, the connection that I did on the battery, I didn't properly put it back. I stripped the nut, and because of that, it was loose. And when you hit a bump or something like that, it unloosened it, and that surge and loss of electricity caused some engine light checks, and it caused the bike to shut down. That was totally my fault. I messed that up. I took it to the local RYKER bike shop right here in Lansdowne. They fixed it in a jiffy. They went in, refixed my nuts and everything, and that was great. I think they charged me 60 bucks. That was nothing. But that was me. I caused that problem. And what I would say to you is, when you get these bikes, there's a great temptation to upgrade so many things, because you can change up colors, you can put in lights, you can do horns, you can do all kinds of things. But I'm going to tell you, know your limits. When you fool around with this thing, changing things, especially in electronics, know what you're doing, because it's sensitive. It's electrically sensitive. It has a small battery. You don't want to overload the battery, nor do you want to connect anything incorrectly, because if you do, you're going to wind up causing a problem with your bike, and it may be out on the road. So, the biggest thing I learned in the 6 months is know your limits. Know your limits on there. What else? Riding gear. In 6 months, you get a chance to see different types of weather. I have ridden this in 18-degree weather all the way up to 90-some degrees. Like today, I think it's in the top 80s. It's really hot today. You want to know the riding gear. When you buy this, especially if you've never ridden, when it's hot, you don't know what it's like riding a bike. And is a t-shirt better, long sleeve, short sleeve? What's that temperature where it gets cold? Because at 60 degrees, that's kind of like when it's 60, 55 to 60, it gets cold on a bike. Some people, oh man, I'm sweating in my eye. Sorry about that. Some people don't mind that chill, but just know that. And so you want to have the appropriate riding gear for the different weathers. If you use this as a commuter and you go in the morning weather is a lot cooler. than what it is in the afternoon when you come home. And you want to have flexible gear when you're riding. So know that. I also think the safety gear, my thing is comfort and safety. I want to be as safe as I can, but also comfortable. You know, riding shoes. Now, I know a lot of people don't like riding shoes for a RYKER because they say typically those riding shoes are for when you lay down a two-wheel. Because if you lay down a two-wheel, falls on your ankle, it crushes it. This is not going to lay down. The RYKER is just not going to lay down. But I will tell you this. You know, the other day I was riding, coming back from picking up from the dealer, and there was on the highway, a mud flat from a tractor trailer was in the center lane, and it had fallen off somehow, and so I lined it up with my knee so that I wouldn't hit this front wheel and the rear wheel, so we go right in between it. But somehow going over it, the wind made that thing jump up, and the bolts that were usually used to bolt it into the back of the tractor trailer hit the bottom of my shoe. Bam! And it hit it hard. And I was like, whoa. And I thought about, man, imagine, you know, if you don't have the right gear on and that thing hits you on your toe, I mean, it's going to break your toe. You're going 60, 70 miles an hour. That thing hits you, you're going to break your toe. You'll break your foot possibly. I have no idea. If it flopped up and hit your shin, you're talking a major injury without crashing. And I go, wow, this is why riding shoes are so important. You know, they have the toe protection, the heel protection. They have a shank underneath to keep it stiff so that you don't have the broken bones that potentially come. There are a lot of rocks and things that sticks and things that fall off of cars and trucks that are out there. I'm telling you, riding shoes are worth it. They, you know, how often does it happen? Well, it doesn't happen a lot. But if it does happen, you want to be prepared. So I recommend good riding shoes. I'll do a video on the 2 types of shoes I have when it comes to riding. I'll get that to you. But I do think in 6 months I realized, wow, you know, riding shoes are worth it. And you know, getting the right appropriate riding gear, it's always a good thing. You want to have the right gear for comfort and safety. Know where you're at and what you need for comfortability. Is this, in the last 6 months, is this a daily commuter? You know, I don't use it as a daily commuter. My job, it doesn't work like that. I work from home, and so I'm constantly going different places. So it's not like a daily commuter where I go from my home to an office. I do go once in a while to an office, but it wouldn't be considered a daily. But as I've had it for 6 months, can this work as a daily commuter? I think it can. I think there are a few things you want to think about. One, the weather. How do you feel about the changing weather? If it's raining, if it's cold, if it's hot, do you have the appropriate gear for those changes, and are you okay with that? If you're okay with that, absolutely. Parking. What do I mean by parking? If you work in a downtown city, up in the 31st floor or something like that, and you're parking your bike on the street, is it a street area where no one will bother it? You know, sometimes people just do dumb things, you know, for whatever reason. I think it's in our nature sometimes, that folly that's bound up in youth sometimes, and sometimes in the old folks. Folly's in them as well. And people want to do something to your bike, whether they pour something on it or mess around with it. You know, I don't know. I think you got to figure it out. But if you park in a garage, hey, that's awesome. It's easy to do that. I think the other thing is, what is your daily dress? What type of outfits are you wearing? A suit every day? You know, you can ride in a suit. Obviously, if you're wearing a skirt, you know, you can't ride in a skirt in this. But if you have the flexibility at your office to change, oh, very easy to be a daily commuter. Is it comfortable? You know, for distances. For me, it really was. I've gone all the way to Massachusetts, 250 miles, not a problem. You have the flexibility for storage in the back. You can I have a storage unit for that you can put things in, a change of clothes, whatever you need. Really a great option for a daily commuter. I think so, because there's so many storage options. I will say this, snow. I've seen people ride these in snow, you know, kind of messing around, but I would say that I don't think this is a great vehicle for snow. Why? Well, it has, you know, the traction control, right? And you can modify it between eco, sport, and normal mode. But I gotta tell you, the traction control, if you're going up a slight hill and there's an inch of snow, you're not gonna make any progress. It's no different than a rear wheel drive car. They're terrible in the snow. If you don't have front wheel drive or a four wheel drive, in the snow, it's just not it's not pleasant. It's not a pleasant ride. Obviously, if the roads are clean, oh yeah, you can do it. But if they're not, you got an inch or 2 inches of snow, it's just not gonna, it's not gonna work. I don't think it would be a great daily in snow. Now, maybe if you go out and get some kind of snow tires, maybe on the Rally Edition, I don't think so. But that's just my opinion. I've only had it 6 months. I've not gone out in the snow, but I've been out in the rain when it's really wet, and that back tire, it does slide. And so I'm thinking, well, you get snow, this is going to be terrible in the snow. Miles per gallon. In the 6 months I've had it, I've seen a different range. Generally, when it's in the normal mode, you're going to get anywhere from 150 miles to 160 miles per tank. That's plenty for me. I even on a long trip, you know, after you go 140, 150 miles, you want to break. I mean, honestly, you do. You want to pull over and grab something to drink or just use the restroom or something like that. But in the regular mode, you're going to get 150 to 160 or so miles. Now, I filled the tank up and went on the Eco and just ran straight Eco, and I was over 180 miles. I think it was about 184 miles. I left it on Eco the whole time, and I was like, wow, that was pretty impressive. Now, you go into sport mode, I think you're gonna get about $130 to $140. Because the sport mode, it's a higher rev, you're more inclined to hit that baby and make that thing go. In the last 6 months, have I had any issues that I have not caused? Zero. That's pretty awesome. Zero issues that I have not caused with this bike. Every time the thing works great, the engine works great. I store my bike inside a garage, so I haven't had any fading issues with the seat or any of the plastic on there. It's been absolutely great. No engine issues, nothing, no belts, the brakes, everything. My brakes did do some squeaking. After a while, they started squeaking a lot, and I was like, oh, I hate this. And I did something you shouldn't do. I took a tiny bit of W4 and just put it on the disc, which is really not good because it's going to slide. And I did it, and I was in a parking lot and just kept squeezing the brakes just to get it worked in. I do not recommend doing that, but I will tell you this, they don't squeak anymore. But do not, I repeat, do not do that, because I don't think that's worth it. But mine aren't squeaking anymore, so I left it alone. You buy one of these, what I've learned in the last 6 months, you better get your sanguine on. Yeah, your social interaction is going to go through the roof. I've had people, I went to a local cafe that had ice cream and drinks and so forth. The owners saw my bike, came outside of their restaurant to see it. They wanted to sit on it. They were like, wow, how much did you pay for that? What is that, like $80,000? I was like, 80,000? No. You're going to be a sanguine. You're going to be a social butterfly because people they just love it. They look at this thing and they are just like, wow, what is it? How fast can it go? Wow, how much? Oh man, what's it like? What's it called? Where'd you get it? I mean, everyone is buzzing about this bike. And I tell you, I really enjoy the social aspect, especially when I go out, because I ride mostly for pure entertainment. I mean, that's why I ride. So I'm in no hurry, and I enjoy the conversations. I enjoy talking to folks. It's just a lot of fun, and I'm having a blast with it. I'm just having the time of my life with it. Now, the question: if I had to do it all over again, would I do it? You already know the answer to that. Absolutely, I would do it again. But I tell you what, I would do something different. What would I do different? I really think if I were to buy this again, I would buy the sport version. I would buy the sport over this one. This is the basic 900. You may say, well, why? Why? Is there anything you don't like about the 9? No, there's nothing that I don't like. But all the upgrades that I've done on this bike are the ones that come standard on the sport. So when you think about the max mount in the back, that comes standard on the sport model. It actually comes with the max mount and a fender as well. It comes with a different seat, which is awesome. But the sport also comes with cruise control, which I haven't upgraded to cruise control, but it comes with cruise control. It comes with the max mount, and then it also comes with the adjustable rear suspension. Now, mine is adjustable, but you have to buy a tool and use the tool to adjust it. Whereas on the sport model, you just have a dial and you turn it, and it's real quick in making the adjustments. And I'm like, wow, if I had to do it all over again, I would get the sport over the regular 900. The only thing that I don't like about the sport is I like the rims on this bike over and above the sport. That's the only thing. Some people really like the sport wings. They're not bad, but I like these better. So if I had to do it all over again, I'd get the sport. Would it have saved me some money? No, because I would have been adding upgrade things to the sport model as well. But hey, listen, I got to tell you, after 6 months, I am just as enthusiastic as I was when I began this journey to get a RYKER. It is just a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. The RYKER community is pretty awesome. People are just open arms to have discussions. I was at the RYKER bike shop, and one of the subscribers, Henderson, was there, and he had the 900, and boy, he really upgraded his. He put a lot of cool things on it, some lights and things. I was like, oh, you're tempting me to spend money. But you just meet great people, and you have a lot of fun. And I tell you, this has been a great purchase. There is zero buyer's remorse. Hey, listen, I'm so glad you're with me. Please subscribe, like and subscribe. If you've got some other great comments about why you love your RYKER, put them in the comment section. What a great community. I so appreciate all of your support. You've been awesome. Listen, I'm Chip Mitchell. Enjoy the ride.